This is the reason comedians have stage names. I once met this girl at Barnes & Noble, right? She's in the political section reading some book on John Kerry or some crap like that. One of these real liberal chicks, right? And I wouldn't usually go for this type of girl, but there was something about her I liked. She had a nice rack. So I asked her out. And we're out on a date, and she looks at me, and she goes, "Have you ever heard of this guy, Joe Mark? He does a stand-up act, wearing PJs." So, I knew exactly where she was going with this. So I'm like, "No, who's that?" She's like, "He's this male chauvinistic pig and makes sex jokes and likes to degrade women." So I looked at her, and I'm like, "That bastard. You know what they should do with those guys? They should gather them all up and stick them in a cage. They make me sick." After I said that, she looked at me like I just went running into a burning building and came out cradling her newborn baby. Yeah, I knew I was getting some. And I wanted to make it so that night was the most degrading night in her entire life. So what I decided to do was reenact that scene from Pulp Fiction. Remember when Vin Rames is down in the cellar and he's bent over this barrel and this cop is banging him in the ass and he's got this head strap on with this like orange ball. So I'm with it, right? And I'm behind her, right? And I'm pulling her hair and I'm banging her in the ass, right? And she's looking at me. She's like, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." She was loving every bit of it. I even thought of sticking in her ear. She's like, "Oh yeah, baby, stick that cock in my ear." So I'm like, so the next morning, I decided to go out and get a rose. And what I did is I got a rose and I put it next to her on my pillow. And there was a note under the rose. So then what I did is I went in the bathroom and I hid because I wanted to see her face when she read the note. So she wakes up and she sees the rose and she takes the rose and she's like, she sees the letter, she's like, "Oh." Takes the letter, and she's reading the letter. And the letter says, "Dear Jill, thanks for the unforgettable night. I'm sorry I had to leave so early, but I have to prepare for my show that I have later on tonight. If you're not too busy, you should stop by and see it. Sincerely, Joe Mark, the PJ's comic." She read it. She was like, "Oh my God!" That's when I jumped out of the bathroom. I'm like, she's like,